Hello class, I'm here to talk about problem 12 and 14, yet about relative frequency and cumulative relative frequency. We saw one for chapter 1 where you had to correct the table. Now you're just really calculating the data. This could be something that you would see potentially on your midterm, so I want to go over, okay? We're talking about 65 randomly selected car salesperson, whereas the number of cars they generally sell in 1 week, 65. Well, right here it tells me this is already the total of my frequencies. I repeated down here the table so you can put the values. Let me add one more so we can have the totals, okay? It says 14. Should I make this bigger for you a little bit for now? 14 people answered that they generally sell 3 cars. So right here it says the number of cars. So let's just read first. 19 generally sell 4 cars, 12 generally sell 5 cars, 9 generally sell 6 cars, and 11 generally sell 7 cars. And to complete the table. Well, so it's saying that the data value, it's going to be the number of cars. So 14, they sold 3 cars. Let's start with this column. 19, they sell 4. 12 generally sell 5. 9 generally sell 6. And 11 generally sell 7. Let's not make an assumption that they're going to be values that, go right after each other. So make sure you always read the problem completely. The frequency, then it would be 14 people. So 14 people generally sell, so 14. And then we have 19 that sells 4. Okay, I'm just reading the problem. 12 that just sells 5. 9 that sells 6. And 11 that sells 7. There we go. So when we add here this value, this frequency, I expect to see 65. There it is. So we know it's correct. There it is. So we know there's nothing to be corrected right here. I was gonna make this table a little bigger, smaller. I'm not gonna mess with the format right now. Let me go back, leave it, so we don't go too long here. So now, since we have the total of our frequency, we're gonna divide our frequency by the total to get our relative frequency, correct? So let's go ahead and do 14. I'm just gonna click on this cell right here, and I'm gonna do divide by the total. Excuse me. However, I'm gonna press F4, the key F as in Frank, 4 on my keyboard to put the dollar signs. That makes an absolute value. So therefore, it's never going to change. It's always going to divide by this total. It's not going to try to update it. So here we go. And now all I have to do is to go over here when it turns into this little thin black cross and drag it down. We can go ahead and put as many digits as we want. Usually I like 4 digits, but you may do 2, 3, 4, whatever fits better for you, and do equals this one. And now we know that we have to do equals to this one plus this one. Okay, there we go. Now all I have to do is drag down. It's just gonna update my formula here. If you notice D20 plus C21, if I drag down, look what happens. By C22 now. It's adding this one, and then it's going to add this one, and then this one. That's why I put that dollar sign over here, so you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't update. So let's drag it down. Here you go. So remember what I said before. Let's add this and see how much is it. 100%. So correct. That's exactly what we needed. In here, my last row should be 100% perfect. So we know the table is correct. Okay, so now we are ready to answer the questions. It says, what does the frequency column in 2.42 sum to? So if you look in Y, well, the frequency column, it adds to 65, correct? Which it says right there. And then it says why? Well, because those are 65 randomly select car salesperson. So you can go ahead and see 65 um, randomly selected sales person, or whatever you feel it's better. And then now, what does the relative frequency column in table 242 sums to NY? Well, we know it's always going to sum to 1 or 100%. The Y's, well, you're adding all these values, so it always has, because it always has to sum to 100%, to 1 or 100%. Instead of trying to go the long way, that's basically what it is. And you would be done with problem 12 and 14. I hope this video helps. Thank you. Let me know if there are any questions.